Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back tonight for another video. It is 8:30 p.m. currently in Canada land up here, way up north. I just got back from my girlfriend's house, went over there just to hang out for a little bit before she went to bed. She has to get up super early for work in the morning, and my phone started blowing up like, oh my god, Lagacy, did you see the news? Did you hear what's going on? You gotta upload a video. And I'm like, bro, what's going on? It's like 8 o'clock at night. What? Kabam just dropped a massive post titled Dev Diary Finding a Middle Ground. So we're going to be completely breaking that down. And spoiler alert, Spider-Woman is a central theme over here. She's over here of this post. So just to kind of recap what's been going on with Spider-Woman before we get into things. She was nerfed about 1 full week ago. Her rebalance information, Lumitrix and Spider-Woman went live. And Kabam said she's overperforming as a defender, and yet they're completely removing Ensnare from her kits all around, defensively, offensively, everything. Which just does not make any type of logical sense. It just doesn't. And pretty much the entire community was in agreement that, like, this is not okay. Even the people, that I always see take Kabam's side, they're always pro Kabam. Even those people were like, all right, well, Spider-Woman, yeah, nerf her defensively, but why offensively? Like everyone that typically was on Team Kabam agreed, at least with the community, on the offensive side of the Spider-Woman nerf, which, like, is rare to see, and it's great, and that's how you really know Kabam messed up, when even those people are taking the side of the community. And the next day I made this video the first day. The next day I made a video saying we need rank down tickets. This is complete BS. If Kabam nerfs her this way, the goal with this change does not match their reasoning for the change. It's unjust. The community should be compensated, rightfully so, if this goes through. I say we should get rank down tickets, unsig stones, especially with the whole Prestige 30 change. If Spider-Woman's getting nerfed, that can totally change where we would invest our resources. And then I made another video, showing off champions that should have been nerfed with Kabam's own logic that they're using to justify the Spider-Woman nerf. That champs should have been nerfed that didn't get nerfed. Serpent being one of them, Enchantress being one of them. The champion that Spider-Woman was created to counter didn't get rebalanced, but Spider-Woman does. It's the hypocrisy is unreal. And like so many people in the community have been calling Kabam out. It's been great to see because I love Spider-Woman. So many of us love Spider-Woman. We finally got a response, man. So let's jump straight into this. Dev Diary Finding a Middle Ground. Greetings, Summoners. Marvel Contest of Champions has had its doors open for over 3,945 days. I like that they put it in days. That's a lot of days. Needless to say, the 30 in September of 2025 have not been a highlight of the contest. Today we want to address the recent Spider-Woman balance update, recent game changes, and the valid concerns raised by the community. Our goal is to provide transparency, acknowledge where we fall short, and outline how we're working to find a middle ground that respects not only the health of the game, but also your trust in us. Which is great, man, because my trust has just felt like it's been betrayed as of late. And like, especially when it comes to the rebalancing program, like, they lost so much of my trust when they didn't do anything to Serpent. Like, pretty much all of it. Pretty much all of it back then, And this, like, would have been every single bit of it. So part of restoring that trust is having the accountability to come forth to say we missed the mark. After taking time to comb through all the feedback, yes, we really do read and listen to all of it, I think it's fair to say that we missed the mark. We stated that Spider-Woman's update was intended to address her defensive threat, but the change outlined also have a large impact on her offensive capabilities. This disconnect between our stated goals and the proposed adjustments was a significant oversight. Absolutely. We understand this caused rightful confusion and frustration. Absolutely, especially when it's the champion that is pretty much universally the most popular champion of the year so far. Especially for players who invested in her, which again is a lot because she's so popular. This change substantially reduces her offensive utility. Agreed. Agreed, bro. This is my alliance leader talking right now, Karate Mike. You know, this guy knows what he's talking about. That's why I love Mike. You know, I'm really happy that I've heard some people say some things about, you know, how, like, recent community managers. I love Karate Mike. This guy, I promise you, this guy is only trying to create the best game possible for all of us. Trust me on that. I know Mike. He's one of the best dudes in this community. I've met him. I've known him for a very long time. He's a straight shooter. And he's going to keep it real here. I can trust the words he's saying. And this is absolutely right. Like, you know, in the balance post, they're saying, like, it's going to have a small effect on her offensive. Like, no. It should substantially reduce her offensive utility. Yes. Which doesn't align with the focus we communicated. This impacts the player experience in negative ways that we did not intend. A key goal in keeping Marvel Concept Champions fair, fun, and competitive. Our balance program is a cornerstone of this commitment, allowing us to adjust champions who are slightly overperforming to ensure a healthy meta or underperforming so they see usage across the contest. Spider-Woman's performance, particularly her defensive output, was identified as exceeding her intended thresholds. If you fought her on Node 42 in Alliance War, you know just how terrifying she can be in the right scenario. While we strongly stand by the need for balance changes to maintain long and short-term game health, we recognize that the execution of this one wasn't up to our standards. So with all that said, what's the plan? What's going to change? Because something is changing. I read all that, I'm like, okay, what are they going to do? Need a big drink of water. Okay. So, to be entirely candid, there was a breakdown in our internal process for the Spider-Woman update. What does that mean? I don't even, like, being in CCP, I have no idea. This is my first time I'm hearing about this too. So the changes were implemented through the proper channels, but this process revealed opportunities for improving the approval framework internally. Okay. I feel like that's a lot of words not to really say too much, but okay. The current process led to a lack of clarity and inadequate communication to you, which was a mistake, and we take full responsibility for it. After taking all this in, we are going to be adjusting Spider-Woman's update to better align with our goals. While keeping the identity of Spider-Woman intact on offense, we will still be removing Ensnare from her kit. So that's still happening. As we feel the general ability accuracy reduction is what makes her unhealthy on defense. Well, why not just take that away only on defense? However, alongside this removal, while her fumble is active, her opponent will not be able to evade. So let's take a quick look at Spider-Woman right now, at that part of her kit, because I believe that is how Ensnare gets activated. Yeah, so it's every 15 seconds. Currently, you inflict a Ensnare debuff and a Fumble debuff. But it's not only a Fumble debuff, it is a severe Fumble debuff. So that makes it so that the opponent can't evade. So that's severe. Fumble prevents the Dexterity Mastery from activating during specials. And severe means severe debuffs cannot be removed by Purify or Cleanse. So now they're basically just removing Ensnare, but this Fumble is going to prevent the opponent from evading. So it's very interesting. So they're maintaining the evade countering on offensive side of Spider-Woman, but they are still completely removing the other half of what Ensnare does, and that is the ability accuracy reduction as an attacker. And, you know, that is still a nerf to Spider-Woman offensively. 100%. But it's better. It's a whole hell of a lot better than her not being able to counter evade too. So that's something. And so one thing to note, since her Fumble debuff is a severe debuff, this makes her an even stronger and more reliable evade counter, which is true. So technically, they buffed her evade countering ability. In a technical sense, yes. But they still nerfed her offensively by removing her ability accuracy shenanigans, which, you know, is a big deal. It's only 30%, but man, like, for example, in the Battlegrounds meta we just had Footloose, Spider-Woman had a chance, if they're ensnared, every time they throw a special, to disable one of those debuffs. And it happened a fair amount, you know? So, like, that, there's so many situations where you want ability accuracy, so that, you know, that is not nothing. It's absolutely not nothing. But okay. So a key point here is that we won't reverse every unpopular decision just because it's controversial. Serpent is living proof of that. If we believe it's ultimately the right call for the game's overall benefits, well, that part I don't know. Well, so when it comes to Serpent, in this scenario, based on your feedback and after careful review, we believe we could have chosen a better course of action, and it would be stubborn on our part to double down on this instead of taking the time to reevaluate and course correct to a better outcome. Okay, that better describes what happened with Serpent. Being stubborn, yes. But this is a win, dude. This is an absolute win for the community. Like, we had to fight for this, man. We had to freaking rally the troops and go to war for this. But a win is a win. A win is a win, dude. We made Kabam reverse their decision. And I like to think that I played a small part in that. You guys played a massive part, but I like to think that I played a small part in that. Alright, so that's all the Spider-Woman stuff, but there's still more, so let's keep talking. So further adaptive event quest updates. So last month we launched our adaptive event quest. After it was live for about a week, it was clear that we needed an immediate update. We said that we would be significantly reducing the health and attack values in both classic and elder difficulties, as we didn't realize the scope in which our casual player utilized the event quest as their main source of gameplay. We cut the values by about 30%, which is a significant margin for an emergency update. And while we believe we landed in a solid spot for elder difficulty, with there only being one difficulty for Classic, we feel it was not enough for some of our casual players. The one part I don't get here, though, is we didn't realize the scope in which our casual players utilize the event quest as their main source of gameplay. Kabam always goes on and on about how they have all these statistics and these numbers that they use to make all their decisions. If you have all these numbers, then, like, how does this happen? You know? Maybe your numbers aren't as reliable as you think. That's what I'm saying. Because when I give feedback, I don't have statistics to back up what I'm saying. I'm speaking with my gut and my brain after playing this game for 9 years, you know? There's no numbers. It's just what I know. Sometimes that's better than statistics and numbers. I'll always stick and trust my gut, man, at the end of the day. With the upcoming event quest on October 8th, you will see the following change. We will be reducing the health of defenders in classic mode even further. We will be launching an elder difficulty for Cavalier and Thronebreaker players. Wait. Okay, elder difficulty for Cavalier and Thronebreaker players. I thought the whole point of this was to cut down on the multiple difficulties each month. Was that not the case? Our goal here is to make Classic an approachable event quest experience where you can experience the monthly story of Mortal Kombat Champions without feeling the need to stay hyper engaged to enjoy your session. What we need is to not have to clear Classic difficulty one time. We want to add an Elder difficulty for lower progression players who want to push and challenge themselves further than their current roster might suggest they can go, and the addition of Elder for these players means more challenge as well as potential for more rewards. We've also heard the wave feedback loud and clear for our Valiant players. Requiring a Classic run simply feels like busy work on the way to Elder. Absolutely, it's hard to disagree with the sentiment. We have full intentions of allow Valiant players to bypass Classic in the near future. However, this requires additional engineering work that we currently don't have the capacity to support due to other features already in progress for this year. So unfortunately, we won't be able to make this happen immediately, but we're targeting early next year for when we will be able to add this feature. Keep in mind, this is a few months away. Classic should move much more quicker now due to the further reduction in health across the map. Okay, well, at least they, again, are not being stubborn, and they admit that it's hard to disagree with the sentiment, that it's just busy work. Because, yeah, we shouldn't be needing to clear the Classic run. And, you know, what really sucked was they released the event quest. People did a run of Classic, tried Elder, it sucked. Then they relaunch it, and on the relaunch, you have to again do another run through Classic, which again took about an hour at least to get through for like me. That's a developed roster, you know. So that's a long time, and to have to do it twice because of their screw up, like, that just made it even worse to everyone who had to do it twice. And for me, like, I did it twice within a span of like 12 hours. I did 2 runs of Classic within a span of 12 hours. That sucked. That was terrible, man, because I did it like the night before it went away to try it. Okay, so those are the two out of the 3 big changes so far. With Spider-Woman, of course, being the biggest one, and then, you know, Adaptive EQ being another one. But there is more. Battlegrounds on Elder Marks. Alright, we still got more stuff to talk about. To round out the September Dev Diary, we have to talk about energy and Elder Marks. As you know, we had intentions to overhaul the energy economy to maintain pacing and make different modes of gameplay feel more meaningful than they have been. When we communicated our plan to pivot, we said that we had taken your concerns about Elder Marks removal to heart and were reevaluating. We took a lot of time to consider all possible options, and ultimately we're happy to be able to tell you that Elder Marks will be staying and will act as the exclusive entry into competitive ranked Battlegrounds. Now, Elder Marks will no longer be directly purchasable for units. However, you can convert 15 energy into 90 Elder Marks at any time in an unlimited fashion. To save you the math, let me quickly outline what the change would look like for you. Previously, 135 units equaled 315 Elder Marks. Upcoming 120 units and energy refills, roughly 1620 Elder Marks. That sounds amazing! So you can just, anytime in an unlimited fashion, just convert your energy. Dude, yeah, that's awesome. So why are we doing this? We wanted a proper way to distinguish between ranked and unranked Battleground entry queues. Surprise! Unranked Battleground matches will be launching alongside Season 34, which is pretty hype, actually. That's awesome, man. Like, there's so many times, like, especially for, like, doing big pushes, like, for example, for a Brawl season or something, or, you know, if you're just doing, like, a C1 push, and you're highly ranked, you're in a good spot, you're parked, you don't want to play, but you want to practice. You know, your options are just really friendlies or have an alt account. But now you can just play unranked matches. So I like that. That's cool. So it'll cost 5 energy per round and will match you with an opponent based on your size of your roster. We feel this update is a long overdue. I agree. It will give summoners with smaller rosters an avenue to play the mode without being forced to match against accounts much larger than their own, effectively boxing them out from engaging with the game in a way that feels fun to them. Fair and fun to them. So changes to prevent future missteps. To ensure this doesn't happen again, we're implementing a stricter oversight for important game updates. This includes enhanced internal review process to ensure all adjustments align with our design philosophy and receive proper approvals. So hopefully, yeah, this sounds like it's mainly for the rebalance stuff. So improved pre-release testing to confirm changes match their intended purpose. So these steps are already in motion, and we're committed to seeing this through moving forward. Looking ahead, we are very aware that September was not our best month. I like that they're like saying this. Some of the issues were outside of our control, like the services we depend on going offline, which did happen. However, most of the problems were our fault. Again, I love this. Accountability! Hallelujah! Thank you! Mike. Kabam Asaurus Rex. My man. Thank you. Love to see accountability being taken, man. It's nice. And we know we need to be better. We're currently building that general compensation package for you that was promised due to the connection issue that started last month. We're hoping to have it to you by Friday and think you'll be pleased with its contents. Dude, you better believe that after an entire month of some of the worst issues we've maybe ever had, that compensation pack is going to be juicy. It's going to be juicy, man. What if there's a Titan Nexus in there? I don't know. That might be a tad overly ambitious. But it's been a bad month, dude, so I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. We'll see. But alright, we have a lot of updates and surprises to share with you on this upcoming live stream on October 3rd. One which I'm personally extremely excited for, and even more surprises during our upcoming Summoners Fest. Dude, like, which is great because this is... I was really hoping that Kabam would do something before Summoners Fest to fix the community, to fix all the damage they've been doing recently, you know, to just do better and hopefully admit fault before Summoner Fest, because I don't want the vibes to be bad, you know. So like, this is great. Whether you'll be there in person or watching at home, we want this to be a time of celebration in the contest where every summoner is proud to spend their time in the battle realm and walks away feeling excited and hopeful for the future. We don't want our players to feel frustrated or like their time, money, and feelings aren't valued. Bluntly, we aren't proud of the product we've put in the field the past few months. We apologize for this, and we're going to be taking steps to ensure we get back on track to make the best game possible for you, like we always say we want to do. The reality is we can't promise you that every decision we make is going to hit the mark and that we aren't going to be any more mistakes. That would be a ridiculous promise. But what we can promise is that every decision we make is what we feel is best for the game and its long-term future and for our players. We feel confident that the outcome of everything discussed in this dev diary is landing in the best spot for the future of the game. We're committed in making Marvel Contest of Champions a premium experience where every summoner feels heard, valued, and respected. The Spider-Woman update was a learning moment for us, and we're already using it to strengthen our processes. Thank you for taking the time to read this. Thank you for sticking with us until next time. We'll see you in the battle realm. I had to read that in Karate Mike's voice. So yeah, dude, that was a lot. That was a lot. Circling, you know, the Battlegrounds stuff I think is all good. I like this. It sounds good to me at first glance. The math seems to check out, so it looks good. It sucks that we kind of have to wait till next year to bypass Classic, but at least we'll be able to. So that's good, eventually. And at least it'll be quicker now to get through, too, so it shouldn't take an hour to clear. Which will be nice in the meantime. And then, yeah, really Spider-Woman, you know, the main theme of this video. So, yeah, I think this is good. You know, like, a lot of people wanted them to add Pursuit, for example. That would have been essentially, like, the same thing if the Pursuit is triggered when the Ensnare would have triggered. Yeah, actually, a debuff, a severe debuff, is probably better than a passive Pursuit anyways. In most circumstances. I feel like. Probably. If it was a regular debuff, yeah, Pursuit passive, 1,000,000% would have been better. But the fact that it's a severe debuff, I like that, you know? So at least it's not just, boom, Spider-Woman got nerfed on attack. She lost her ability accuracy. She maintained her evade. It's like, no. She did get nerfed on attack. She lost her ability accuracy reduction, but her evade counter did get stronger. So at least there's some give and take on that. I appreciate that. I didn't hear anyone, you know, suggest that change. And I heard a lot of good ideas with some people like pulling out the agility from Void's kit. I think this change is way better than giving her agility. So I think this is a good change. I think it's much, much better than just completely nerfing her all around. But I really, really want to know what you guys think about all this. It's great to see Kabam actually taking responsibility and accountability for their mistakes. Like, it's refreshing to read. I cannot tell you. I wish I could. I wish I could tell you in depth what it's like to be in the CCP Discord, you know, fighting for Spider-Woman. Because I wasn't the only one fighting for her, but like, there's of course resistance. We're obviously met with some resistance, not even from Kabam, always from Kabam. And like I did not see this coming. I can genuinely tell you I did not see this change coming. This was completely random and out of the blue. Like they gave us like a quick heads up that this was dropping, like 5-10 minutes I think before it dropped, but like that was it. Like none of this was communicated to the CCP before it was about to go live. So this completely caught me off guard because I have been giving feedback in the Balance chat specifically about Spider-Woman for the last week, day after day after day. Like debating with people, arguing with people, like fighting for Spider-Woman, saying this, and that. Trying my best, man. You know, trying to be logical and give off valid points that I've raised in my videos. You know, and again, like I'm doing all that, and like I'm not seeing any results. I'm not seeing like nothing. And then randomly out of the blue, just boom, results. So it's just weird. It really caught me off guard. I was really starting to get worried no changes were actually even gonna get made. But they are, man. So Spider-Woman is still being nerfed, 100%. She is going to be less powerful, but at least she is maintaining her evade counter. Now, like, I wouldn't want to rank her down. If they took away her evade counter, and like I don't feel like I need a rank down ticket, personally. If you still feel that way, you are totally entitled to feel that way. Because she is still being nerfed. But at least it's more in line and more logical with their reasoning, and it makes more sense. And it is true, she definitely is overperforming as a defender, but a lot of other champions have been overperforming as a defender too, and they didn't receive a change. So like, how about some consistency? That's what I would like to see. But yeah, guys, I still think this is an absolute W for the community. We saved Spider-Woman, and it's all because of us, because of our voices. Our voices were heard, our feedback was given, and it was listened. Kabam actually did read it and listen because there was enough of us. It takes all of us, man, for things like this to actually happen, to actually be overturned. This is huge. Seriously, give yourself a pat on the back. We did something here, man. We did something big here, and I'm proud of us. Proud of the entire community. And I'm proud of Kabam for admitting their own fault. Didn't think I was going to be seeing that today, but it was great to see. So, really curious. Give me all the feedback in the comment section down below, guys. Let me know what you think about all this. What's your favorite thing that you read? Is it the Battlegrounds stuff, the EQ stuff, the Spider-Woman stuff? Let me know. Or just Kabam apologizing. You know, let me know. If you were thinking about quitting the game, or if you did quit the game, does this make you want to come back? Let me know that as well. And also, if you ever are spending on the web store, which I completely understand why many of you have not been over the course of this last month. I haven't been either. But if you ever are making a purchase on the web store and you want to support me, your boy Lagacy, who's always out here fighting for you, fighting for the community, fighting for what I think is right, use my code LAG at checkout. I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Drop a like if so. Share this video around. Get the word out that we made change in the community. We saved Spider-Woman. Justice for Jess has been served. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Peace.